Chapter 249. Faria smiled after listening to Alex's special request. After that, she said, "Okay, let's do that. Since this is the first glass of scotch, I'll start first." After that, Faria cleared her throat before she smiled sweetly and said, "This first glass of scotch is to thank you for saving my grandfather today. I'd also like to thank you for doing me this big favor today." Alex nodded and smiled as he said, "Okay, then let's drink this glass of scotch immediately." After he was done speaking, Alex lifted his scotch glass before he gently touched it against the scotch glass in Faria's hand. After that, he finished the entire glass of scotch in one go. At this time, Faria also finished her entire glass of scotch immediately. After that, she smiled before she asked, "Mr. Anderson, why don't you tell me why we should be drinking this second glass of scotch?" "Okay," Alex smiled. "This second glass of scotch is to celebrate fate and destiny. Even though there are so many people in this world, it is simply because of fate that both of us met and got to know one another. Therefore, we should celebrate fate." "Okay," Faria replied, and she smiled as she yelled out, "Let's drink for fate." Immediately after that, Faria refilled their glasses with more scotch before she said, "This third glass of scotch is to celebrate Mr. Anderson's superb skills and abilities. Today, I got to witness Mr. Anderson's ability to treat illnesses and save other people's lives. Moreover, I'm now even more certain that it was not a mere coincidence that Gary Depp was struck to death by thunder and lightning. Would you like to explain yourself, Mr. Anderson?" Alex smiled in a casual manner as he said, "Well, who knows whether it was a mere coincidence or not? Only the heavens knows. As for mortals like you and me, I can only say that this is a secret that shouldn't be revealed." Faria nodded and she laughed and looked into Alex's eyes before she said, "Well, then let's drink in order not to reveal this secret. Let's do it." After a few glasses of scotch, Faria was already feeling a little tipsy. Even though she could really hold her liquor, she had already drank several glasses of scotch at one go. At this time, it was Faria's turn to give her toast and say something before they drink. Faria looked at Alex with her eyes wide open and a tipsy expression on her face as she said, "Actually, Mr. Anderson, I've recently discovered that you're actually a pretty good person." "Pretty good?" Alex chuckled before he asked out of curiosity, "What do you mean by that? How am I good?" "You're good in so many ways," Faria replied earnestly. "You're so much more interesting than the other people I usually meet or encounter. Many of the people that I've met would usually try to flatter me or treat me well because they have some other ulterior motives. That's the reason I think you're a good person." "What?" Alex replied as he laughed. "So, do you think I have no ulterior motives for getting closer to you?" Faria nodded before she replied, "I feel as though you're a little detached from the world because you're hiding something."